Hello, hello, hello. I always said I would do it, so, I wanted to try it out. So, welcome to Tuesdays with Booga. Similar to our good old, look at that, Tuesdays with Maury. I don't know if you can see that very well. Maybe. Looks like there's a glare. But good thing I'm not here for my incredible video photography. So today, with 10 minutes of trial recording with Bandicam Tuesdays with Booga, I thought we would talk about what it means to live a happy, good life. What it means to be, to live a happy life. I have a lot of conversations with people. Drink my pre workout before I head to the gym. A lot of conversations with people about living a happy life. A lot of people get upset about stuff. A lot of people are unhappy about things that, you know, messes with them, fucks with their head. And, you know, just people are struggling, at the end of the day, just struggling and not being able to get out of it, feeling like you are in a cycle of just the same thing and not being able to have anyone to talk to, you know, just feeling like you're alone and feeling that weight, and it's very intimidating. It's difficult, it's hard. Um, and I think a lot of it has to do is people, have a hard time directly confronting, addressing, acknowledging, the struggles that they're going through, whether it be, former trauma or it just being a confrontation with somebody that is just continuously beating you down, or it's just something that's, it's an issue that you need to take care of. You know that it's not healthy for you, but the idea um, of doing it, the idea of pulling yourself out of that situation, it's scary because it could be, an idea whether you're in a victim and an abuser. And the idea of getting yourself out of that is intimidating, and especially if you have nobody to support you, it's incredibly difficult. You know, and what I like to say to people and how I live to myself is the moment you run into an issue, the moment you run into the issue, immediately look for a solution for it because I think of it as like a parasite, right? Like a mosquito. Like think of a fat, dinosaur mosquito, big ol' son of a gun, and it just latches onto the back of you, and you're trying to swipe at it, and you're almost there. You can hit it, but you let it sit, right? And the problems of letting it sit is it just festers. It festers and grows and just has more of a drain on your life, more control over your life. And the issues of not addressing it and letting it fester like that, it affects all aspects of your life and how disaster it is. And it can be scary to, swipe that son of a bitch, but you have to do it because understanding that if you don't, the difficulties that it will create for yourself, you know. And I relate it all the time to, my situation with my father growing up. My father was an alcoholic. He was a narcissist, never could be told he was wrong. And the issues of trying something, what I encounter a lot of times, through my own life and encounters with people growing up, is trying to compromise over and over again, right? Having conversations with people that are having a negative effect on your life, and whether it be, you have an attachment with them from knowing them for a long time, friends, relationships, parents, what have you, family. It's one of the toughest ones, and you try to do something that in a normal situations with a healthy person it would be the right thing to do. You try to have a compromise. You try to have, a conversation with them, you know, be able to hopefully come to an agreement to change some things. And you run into a situation where somebody doesn't want to change. It's just who they are. And to the point where they'll take advantage of you, knowing that as a good person, you want to try to find a compromise and stuff like that. And at a point, you need to understand, if somebody apologizes and say that they're going to change and, their actions don't, follow their words, how that is then a problem on yourself being able to say, okay, this is something that's happening and it's having an effect, like the mosquito example, and we're not addressing it. We're not taking care of it. And at a point, You encourage somebody's behavior, when they have a negative effect on you, whether it be, you know, manager, friend, family member that is, abusing their relationship with you. And unless you go to somebody either above them or you confront them directly, obviously when I say when you confront people, never be a jackass, but, stand up for yourself, be assertive, respectably assertive, you don't want to, follow down to how they treat you, but you want to stand up for yourself and show that you're not going to take that shit. And a lot of people, it's scary for them to be able to do that, and understandably so, but recognizing that as an important step in any kind of healthy life, those are the things you will encounter. It's just how life is. Life is a cruel bitch. And it takes being able to do those things, having respect for yourself, and not letting someone treat you like that, because recognizing that it's just a mosquito parasite. They're like, ah, oh, damn, I really wish I would have, told that son of a bitch that it really pissed me off, and really, beating yourself up about it and saying, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do that, I avoid conflict. And just the issue of saying, if you can't confront somebody, if that's something that's difficult to do, being able to remove yourself from them, recognizing that I'm going to go try to confront this person, have a conversation, and try to have, hopefully a compromise that ends the issue. And recognize, well, if that can't happen, either from the situation or the person, then it's like, okay, I need to remove myself. And being able to immediately remove yourself from the situation, not going back to it, holding firm to it. And usually, if the person wants to continue a relationship with you, they'll be like, shit, well, this person just left me to the point they don't even speak to me. Maybe I should reflect on the issues at hand, and maybe I should hold myself accountable. A lot of times, spoiler alert, doesn't happen. Usually people have an ego and they don't want to change, and that's just life. A lot of people struggle with the ability to say, I was wrong, right? Saying that, yeah, I made a mistake, and be able to take criticism. Such a beneficial thing to have relationships with people and just have a happy life and to grow as a person, right? Is to be able to say, shit, I was wrong. Not being able to say, well, I'm going to fall apart the moment I say I was wrong. The moment I say, you know, shit, I wasn't right. The less weight you put behind that, and the more weight you just behind, like, what is ever going to help me grow, the more you're going to have positive interactions with folks, and it's not going to be more or less a competition or who's right, who's wrong. It's like, well, how can I best help myself learn, right? And being able to live life that way, you're going to be able to form more relationships with people. You're just going to be happier. You're not going to look life like everybody's against me. Um, and it's just a better way to live. My father burned all his bridges with everybody he had in his life. Diabetic, drank himself alcoholic, to the point he died on a couch. Probably scared alone. But I don't pity the man because he treated people terribly. So I live every single live every single day reminding myself that that's how my father kicked the can, and how important it is to take criticism, confront issues as they come up. Don't let them fester, because knowing that it's not going to do myself any favors, and knowing where, if you lean into substances when you have an issue, and how it just festers and destroys your life. The importance of taking accountability, the importance of taking criticism, the importance of saying that you were wrong. It's such a beneficial thing. And the more people can lean into that, the more happy, I promise you, you will. As long as you don't let your ego take control. The ego is such a bad thing for people. It's good in certain situations if you need to be a healthy competition. But if you're trying to have relationships with people and you're wrong, fuck it, say you're wrong. How important that is. So I know this wasn't a huge long video, but I more or less just want to see, hopefully help some people out. I like to, have conversations with people, and I find myself saying the same thing. So I thought, shit, well, we might as well just try to record something, and maybe that kind of helps some people out that have had the same things that I've talked about, and hopefully it's beneficial for them. All right. So I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next Tuesday. All right. All right.